You gotta be kidding me. 23 pounds and an 8-inch driver? There's no way this thing's gonna sound good. If you're looking for a lightweight, compact FRFR speaker cab to bring with you on a fly gig, or even on a gig where you don't have a lot of room in your vehicle and you don't feel like carrying a bunch of heavy equipment around, I've found the perfect solution for you. It's the ISP Technologies Vector FS8. I stopped by ISP Technologies' office just the other day to pick this up from Buck, the owner, who's a brilliant guy, by the way. And he handed this thing to me, and I couldn't believe how light it was. And I just stuck it in the back of my truck and took it home, and I didn't expect much out of it, to be honest with you. I like big bombastic sound when I play my guitar, so I didn't think that an 8-inch driver in a 23-pound enclosure would give me a big sound. But this thing does. It's very punchy, and it has a very good bass response on it, and it sounds amazing. It actually has a really good transparent sound to it. And there's 2 inputs on the back, so that way you can plug your guitar in one side and vocals or the rest of the band mix on the other side, and have it for the monitor for both, and you can adjust those inputs accordingly. They each have their own volume setting. The other thing about the inputs that's really cool is the fact that they're either 1/4 inch or XLR, so you can plug either type of cable into them. So you got a lot of versatility there. It's a Baltic birch enclosure with a very durable polyurethane coating. I like that coating better than Tolex because it doesn't scratch or scrape or peel. It also has a steel front grille on it, so you don't have to worry about tearing like you would with a cloth grille. It's 175 real watts, not advertised overinflated watts. Like a lot of companies say, these are real actual watts. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it through the same pace as I would any other product. As a lot of you guys know, if you watch my channel a lot, I'm a huge believer in Baltic birch enclosures. Anything but that always sounds dull and unresponsive. So far, this has definitely passed the test with flying colors because of the Baltic birch enclosure and because of the way they tuned the drivers and made it sound bigger than it actually looks. So let's go ahead and do the quick and dirty on this. There's several things that I like to do to test out a cab and make sure that it sounds the way it should. Number one, I'm going to compare it to my direct recorded sound, which I've already done, and it sounds very close to that. So the transparency level on this is about 85 to 90%, and I really like that a lot. The next thing I'm going to do is play just some heavy chugging riffs because I want to make sure I can hear the pick attack on it. Because believe it or not, when you play through poly-enclosed cabs, you don't get that really nice aggressive pick attack. It sounds very dull instead. So let's go ahead and check that out. Okay, I can hear the pick attack very well. It's scraping across the strings and I hear every bit of it. Okay, so the next thing I want to hear is how much punch is behind that pick attack, because I don't want it to sound thin. I want it to be very punchy. It's very punchy, especially for an 8. I can't believe what I'm hearing right now. This thing is really blowing me away. So the next thing I want to check for is harmonic response, because once again, believe it or not, on poly-enclosed speaker cabinets, you don't get a very good harmonic response on it. They're very dull. Let's see how they sound on this. harmonics sound really good. I love the way that they bounce right off of the strings the way they should. And there's this really nice kind of brittle top end to them that's very natural, and this speaker cab lets them come through exactly the way that they should. Okay, so the next thing I want to test on this is note separation. That sounds really good. It's not dull, and there's no muddiness to cover up all of the strings and the notes that I'm playing. I can hear everything articulated perfectly through the speaker. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to play the chorus of one of the songs that I wrote called Eternal Deception for my band Anastasi. And this chorus has a lot of chords, but it also has a lot of chugging and riffing in between the chords. And I want to make sure I can hear all that in between the chords that I'm playing and see if this speaker can articulate that properly. Perfect! I can hear everything that I want to hear on this. Alright, so let's hear how the cleans sound on it. That sounds very good. What I've noticed on a lot of the poly-enclosed units as well is that they're dull even on the cleans. There's a roundness. And with this particular product, because it's Baltic birch enclosed and tuned properly, it doesn't sound like that. All of the frequencies that I want to hear are coming through. And once again, it's very transparent. I'm extremely familiar with my recorded guitar sound. And this comes extremely close to that, even on the cleans. So far we're batting 1,000 on this product right now. Honestly, we are. Okay, so because I use the Majesty Monarchy guitars, I have a piezo pickup, and I use that quite a bit, believe it or not. And I want to make sure this cab represents the tone of that pickup properly as well. Sounds very good. It represents everything that I want to do on stage properly. I talk to a lot of musicians and gearheads every day, whether it's face-to-face or in social media groups. And the one thing that a lot of people are looking for, especially now, is something that's lightweight. Because if you don't have to carry heavy equipment around with you every time you go out and perform, then why should you force yourself to do that? The biggest caveat to that has always been, yeah, but I can't find a light cab that sounds good. They all sound thin and anemic. Well, problem solved. Thank God for ISP Technologies, because they really built a monster here. You know, they say dynamite comes in small packages. I gotta say that this is kind of a nuclear warhead in a small package. I really love how aggressive, throaty, and raw and punchy my guitar sounds through this cab. And I know I keep saying this, but I'm really blown away. This is my first time ever playing through an 8-inch driver, ever. And I did not expect it to sound this good. So my advice to you is go to a store with your guitar modeler and plug into this. It sounds incredible. So here's another really cool feature I'm going to show you. You can actually bypass your cab simulator and your guitar processor and use the guitar mode on this speaker cab. Well, once again, if you're looking for a really good, lightweight, compact powerhouse to bring with you on stage or on tour, or to just use in your practice space, consider the ISP Vector FS8. As far as I'm concerned, I don't need to look anywhere else. this is the perfect solution for that. I have yet to hear something in this size and weight class that sounds even remotely as good as this does. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate it very much. We got a lot of great stuff coming your way, and can't wait to share it with you. See you on the next one.